InGen made a new monster. They call it the Distorus Rex, D-Rex for short. It's all wrong, twisted, full of pain, a real mess. But here's the big question. Can this D-Rex survive Jurassic World's deadliest hybrid dinosaurs? 10 other freaks of science are waiting. If the D-Rex loses, it's over. Done. Stick around to see if this ultimate mistake can somehow beat all the other nightmares InGen cooked up. The fight for its messed up life starts now. First up for the D-Rex, the Scorpius Rex. This thing was InGen's first real try at making a hybrid monster. And boy, did they make a weird one. It's got poison, it moves like a broken toy, and it's super mean. This isn't just a dinosaur, it's a walking, hissing tantrum with venomous quills. Think of it as the D-Rex meeting an older, even more messed up cousin it never knew it had. This is a real bad family reunion. The Scorpius Rex is dangerous because it's so unpredictable. One second it's twitching, the next it's shooting poison quills from its tail. Those quills can mess up even big dinosaurs. But the D-Rex, it's already living in a world of pain. Its body is a roadmap of things gone wrong. So when those poison quills fly, maybe the D-Rex's own messed up system can fight it off in a way other dinos can't. Or maybe it's just too big, too full of its own problems for the Scorpius's poison to be the biggest issue. Now, the Scorpius Rex is jerky, but it can be fast in short bursts. It climbs, thrashes, it's all over the place. But the D-Rex, even though it's a walking disaster, has sheer size and power. Those 6 limbs it has, the 2 legs and 4 arms, they might look wrong, but that's a lot of muscle and bone to throw around. Imagine trying to fight a confused, in pain 6-armed bear that's also part T-Rex and having a really bad day. I wouldn't want to do that either. This isn't a normal fight, it's 2 mistakes, 2 genetic nightmares bumping into each other. The Scorpius Rex is driven by its bad brain, its pure meanness. The D-Rex is driven by its hurt, its pain, its body that doesn't work right. And here's the thing, the D-Rex's pain might just be its biggest weapon here. It's so full of hurt, so full of rage just from being alive, that the Scorpius Rex's wild attacks wouldn't scare it. They just add to the noise. The Scorpius Rex, for all its venom and fury, is still just one creature. The D-Rex is like a 6-limbed avalanche of misery and teeth. It might not be pretty, it might not be smart, but it's overwhelming. The Scorpius tries to dart, to stick it with quills, but the D-Rex just keeps coming. It's a tidal wave of wrongness. One good grab, one powerful bite from those teeth, and the Scorpius's life is over. The D-Rex stands, maybe more battered, definitely still in pain, but it's standing. So the poison one is down, a messy, ugly win for a messy, ugly creature. But now the D-Rex faces a quiet, smarter killer, the Indoraptor. This wasn't an accident. This was a weapon built from the ground up. It's part Indominus Rex, part Velociraptor, smart, fast, and it loves to hunt. Where the Scorpius Rex was just wild and angry, this thing is a trained assassin. It even responds to a tactical laser pointer like a giant deadly cat ready to pounce on whatever it's told to. The Indoraptor is all about stealth and smarts. It's known to be extremely aggressive and it's strong too, able to climb walls and jump far. It even tricked a human by playing dead once, and the human went into the cage to take one of its teeth off, and then it ate the human. That's a pretty smart dinosaur. The Indoraptor prototype we see in the second Jurassic World movie had flaky skin and ragged teeth, which are signs that this refined weapon wasn't even quite perfect yet. So how does the D-Rex, a big, clumsy, herding giant, fight something so sleek and clever? Well, the Indoraptor might try to sneak around, but the D-Rex is a walking earthquake of pain, probably thrashing around, roaring, knocking things over just by existing. There's not much room for stealth when your opponent is a 6-limbed demolition crew. And the Indoraptor is made to attack specific, calculated targets, but the D-Rex doesn't follow rules. It doesn't have a plan. It's just a storm of teeth, claws, and misery. The Indoraptor might try its smart moves, its quick strikes, but the D-Rex is like fighting a cornered, wounded animal. If that animal was also designed by someone who really liked their nightmares. The D-Rex is scary because it's so perfectly wrong. When the Indoraptor would get close, ready for a killing blight, what would it see? It would see not just a target. It would see 6 limbs flailing. It would see a body that looks like it's tearing itself apart. It would hear sounds that no animal should make. That kind of pure, unfiltered horror can mess with even a trained killer's head. Remember, we're talking about an animal that was smart enough to trick a human. The Indoraptor might be smart, but at the end of the day, it's still an animal, and animals can get confused and scared by things that they don't understand. D-Rex, in its agony and fury, would lash out. Maybe one of those extra arms that are thick as a tree trunk would connect. Maybe one of its tons of teeth find a hold. The Indoraptor, for all its speed and smarts, is still just flesh and bone. Against the sheer crushing, desperate power of the D-Rex, even a tactical weapon can break. So our military assassin dinosaur got crushed. But the original hybrid queen, the Indominus Rex, now waits. This was the one that brought Jurassic World to its knees. It's bigger than a T-Rex, smarter, and it was made to be the ultimate attraction, the ultimate scare. It's got T-Rex, Raptor, and a whole bunch of other DNA mixed in, like a deadly genetic soup. For the D-Rex, this isn't just another fight. It's like facing the monster that wrote the playbook on hybrid terror. If we remember correctly, the Indominus Rex is famous for its brain. It remembered where its cage door was. It clawed out its own tracking implant. That's pretty clever, and it has its tricks too. It can change its skin color to hide thanks to cuttlefish DNA. It can even hide its heat from thermal scanners because of tree frog DNA. Plus, it can see heat like a pit viper can, so it can hide and it can find you. The D-Rex is up against a ghost that can hit like a truck. How does it fight that? The D-Rex is always in pain. Every single second. Maybe that constant grinding pain makes its senses super sharp. Maybe it can feel the air change when the Indominus is near, even if it can't see it. Or maybe its own body heat is so messed up and all over the place from its 6 limbs that the Indominus's heat vision gets confused. The Indominus is a top predator. It's used to being the biggest, baddest thing around. It expects other creatures to act certain ways. Run, fight back, hide. The D-Rex, it doesn't act like anything we've seen in the franchise before. The D-Rex is something so unnatural, it could throw even the Indominus off its game. That kind of raw, unfiltered agony combined with its terrifying, giga-inspired shape might be more than Indominus's brain can process as just prey or rival. It's an abomination. It doesn't belong. And when the D-Rex charges, fueled by that unending pain, it's not going to be a calculated attack. It's going to be a desperate explosion. Those 6 limbs, those teeth galore it has, all driven by a creature that just wants the hurting to stop. The Indominus is strong, it's tough, it has claws like knives, but the D-Rex is a relentless, unstoppable force of pure will. Because of all the pain it's had to endure, it would shrug off blows like nothing we've seen before. It would absorb blows that would stagger a T-Rex, because what's a little more pain? And it would keep coming until its sheer, tragic, monstrous power overwhelms even the queen of hybrids. So, the Indominus was toppled, but Sightsee's horrors now take to the skies with the Mutadons. Because in Gen, whoever cooked these up thought regular raptors just weren't scary enough. These things are a mix of raptor DNA and pterosaur DNA. So they're smart, they're fast, they've got claws, and they can fly. And they hunt together like a pack of feathered flying nightmares. This is a whole new problem for the D-Rex. It's big, sure, but it's got one problem. It's stuck on the ground. Mutadons have a big advantage. The air. They can dive bomb, they can slash and fly away before the D-Rex can even turn its big weird body around to attack. They're described as intelligent and savage, so they're not just going to fly straight into its mouth. They'll work together, trying to hit it from all sides to wear it down. So what can the D-Rex even do? It can't fly. Its 6 limbs are built for, well, we're still not sure what they're perfectly built for because we haven't gotten a good look, but from what we can see, it's 4 arms and 2 legs. So last time I checked, there's no wings there. So it's definitely not built for flying. Maybe, just maybe, if a Mutadon gets too bold, too close, one of those extra flailing arms can snatch it right out of the air. And a pack is strong because they work together. They trust each other. But the D-Rex is pure, terrifying chaos. Its very presence is going to be unsettling to many dinosaurs. Its roars are probably deafening and full of pain, as we discussed before. A kind of thing can break a pack's focus. If one Mutadon gets grabbed or smashed or even just badly scarred by this 6-limbed horror show, the others might hesitate to strike because they know they're next. Think back to Jurassic World when Blue was about to fight the Indominus Rex. You could tell that Blue was thinking carefully about should it turn on the Indominus. Raptors are intelligent enough to calculate whether it's worth fighting or not. But every time the D-Rex thrashes, it's creating a no-fly zone of pure, unpredictable danger. It might not be aiming, it might just be reacting to the pain of their claws and bites, but a lucky hit from something that big, that's enough. One Mutadon down, then another. When they see their buddies getting swatted like giant angry flies or crushed by a random 6-limbed stomp, they might decide this particular meal isn't worth it, and it would be roaring in pain as the Mutadons would retreat. So those flying freaks learn learned their lesson. But now we've got a walking fortress, the Stegoceratops, and it blocks the D-Rex's path. This thing is a plant eater, sure, but look at it. If you couldn't tell, it's a mix of Stegosaurus and Triceratops. That means plates down to its back, a tail full of spikes, and 3 big horns on its face. Get this, its DNA also has stuff from a beetle in it, which makes its skin super tough, like extra crunchy armor. This isn't just a big herbivore, it's a prehistoric battle tank. The Stegoceratops is built for defense. Those horns aren't just for show. That frill protects its neck, and that thagomizer tail, it can swing that thing like a medieval weapon. The D-Rex has teeth galore and a lot of muscle from those 6 limbs, but can it actually bite through armor that's been boosted by beetle genes? Well, this is where it gets interesting, because this fight is purely about power versus protection. Stegoceratops will probably try to face the D-Rex head on, using its horns and frill like a shield. The D-Rex, in its usual pained rage, will just charge. It's not going to be strategic. It's just a 6-limbed battering ram of fury. It won't give up easily, because giving up doesn't make the hurt stop. And those 6 limbs, maybe they give it an advantage here. While the Stegoceratops is focused on the front, maybe one of those extra arms can reach over or under or around, trying to find a softer spot to slash. It's like trying to open a really tough tin can with a very angry, very strong, and very oddly shaped can opener. It might take a while and it won't be pretty, but something is gonna give eventually. Stegoceratops is strong, its armor is thick, but it's still designed like a normal 4-legged animal. Imagine trying to defend yourself when something has 4 arms and 2 feet. Each one is strong, grabbing at you, biting you, and pushing you from weird angles. It's not about finding one weak spot, it's about overwhelming the whole thing. Eventually, that beetle tough armor cracks. It's another brutal, ugly win, fueled by nothing but suffering. So the armored tank is broken, but now the D-Rex faces a creature of truly impossible size. This thing is a hybrid of the Ankylodocus, the armored dino with a club tail, and Diplodocus, one of those super long-necked sauropods. The result? A dinosaur that's as long as a blue whale, covered in armor, with a whip-like tail that ends in a giant bone club. It's huge. This is a whole different kind of problem. Its long neck lets it eat leaves way up high, but it also means its head is far away. Its body is covered in those Ankylosaurus spikes and bony plates, and that tail club, it's described in some games as being 8 feet long and like a flail. One hit from that could probably shatter bone, if not your entire body. And getting close is dangerous. That tail can swing with huge force. Those feet could crush the D-Rex without even trying. This looks like an impossible fight, but the D-Rex doesn't do impossible. It just does pain and rage. Maybe it can't reach the head, maybe it can't bite through the thickest armor on the back, but what about those legs? They're huge, yes, but they're also holding up all that weight. The D-Rex, with its 6 limbs, might able to latch on in a way other predators can't. It's a desperate, ugly strategy. It's probably getting hit by that tail, but it hangs on. Those teeth galore it has find a spot, a leg joint, a place where the armor isn't quite as thick. It bites, it tears, it uses all 6 limbs to pull and rip. The Ankylodocus is huge, but if one leg gives out, all that weight starts to become a huge problem. It's a slow, brutal process. The D-Rex isn't winning with a quick kill. It's winning by being a relentless 6-limbed parasite of pain, dragging the giant down through sheer, agonizing effort until the colossal creature finally crashes to the earth. The giant has fallen to the D-Rex, but now speed and precision enter the arena with the Spinoraptor. This hybrid is a nasty piece of work. It's a mix of Spinosaurus, you know, the big fish eater with the sail and giant claws, and Velociraptor, or sometimes Indoraptor, depending on which mad scientist was on duty that day. So you get the power and big claws of the Spino with the speed, smarts, and even bigger claws of the raptor now mixed together with the Spino genes. Some game versions say its claws are 8 inches long, made for tearing things apart. It's built to be a super fast, super ferocious killer. The Spinoraptor is all about quick, deadly strikes. It's not going to stand there and trade punches with the D-Rex. It's going to dart in, slash with those huge claws, and dart out again. It's also intelligent. It can reach speeds of up to 95 kilometers per hour in some descriptions. That's basically car on the highway fast, by the way. The D-Rex, with its 6 awkward limbs in constant pain, is not exactly a speed demon. It might not be able to aim well or speed up to catch something, but that's a lot of moving parts to get past. Getting close to the D-Rex is like walking into a threshing machine made of teeth and pain. Its movements are jerky, explosive, and totally unpredictable because they're driven by whatever part of its body is hurting the most at that second. The Spinoraptor might expect it to move one way, but then a spasm of pain makes the D-Rex lurch in a completely different direction. And the Spinoraptor may be fast, but it can't dodge forever, and it still needs to get close enough to do damage. Maybe it lands a few good hits. The D-Rex, with its 6 limbs and sheer desperate strength, makes a grab. It's not graceful, it's not skilled. Just one of those powerful clawed hands connects. If those teeth find a grab on the much smaller Spinoraptor, it's over. The Spinoraptor's speed and claws mean nothing when it's caught in the grip of a 6-limbed, pain-maddened giant. And that's another victory bought with blood and suffering. This one is a deep cut, folks, from an old toy line called Chaos Effect. The idea was genetically mutated dinosaurs gone bad. It was supposed to be the baddest of them all. Think about this. It's got parts from T-Rex, Velociraptor, Triceratops, Stegosaurus, and Ankylosaurus, all crammed into one ultimate predator. It's like someone took all the scariest dinosaurs out there and hit the blend button. The T-Rex's huge crushing bite, the Triceratops' sharp horns for goring, the Velociraptor's big sickle-shaped killing claws on its feet and hands, and Ankylosaurus armor all over its body, plus a bone-breaking club on that tail too. This is a big one. Our 6-limbed pain-fueled accident versus a creature that was literally designed on paper to be the perfect unbeatable dinosaur fighter. How does the D-Rex even begin to fight something with that many weapons? The D-Rex isn't a plan. It's a catastrophe. It's pure, unfiltered, agonizing existence. When these two clash, it's not just about who has more horns or sharper claws. It's about what's driving them. The D-Rex is driven by its suffering to make the hurt stop, or at least make something else hurt too. The Ultimasaurus would attack. Horns, claws, tails. It's a storm of deadly violence. Those extra limbs aren't just for show. They are thrashing, grabbing, clawing. Maybe the Ultimasaurus's T-Rex brain and raptor smarts can't quite compute an enemy that fights with such desperate, agonizing 6-limbed fury. The D-Rex isn't trying to be a perfect predator. It's just trying to survive its own horrible existence. And in that desperate, all-consuming struggle, it finds a way. It grabs a horn, it bites an armored leg, uses its sheer, disordered bulk and pain-fueled strength to break the ultimate weapon. The perfectly designed monster falls to the perfectly flawed one. So get ready for this one. It's a hybrid of Titanoboa, the biggest snake that ever lived, and Dilophosaurus. You know, the one that spits poison and has that cool neck frill. This is based on Jurassic Park lore. In real life, it never spit poison. It's just nobody get mad at that. So what we have here is a giant constricting snake that can also spit blinding, burning venom at you from up to 50 feet away. Yeah, InGen really went there. This is pure nightmare fuel. The Dilophoboa is a double threat. First, that poison spit. If that hits the D-Rex in the eyes or on its already tortured skin, that's big trouble. It could blind it or just add another layer of agony to what it's already feeling. And then there's the snake part. Titanoboas were famous for squeezing their prey to death. This thing is huge and it's strong. If it gets its coils around the D-Rex, even with 6 limbs, that could be the end. But this is where it gets interesting, because this isn't a straightforward brawl like some of the others. The D-Rex can't just charge and bite if it can't see, or if it's being squeezed like a giant tube of toothpaste. And how does it fight back if it's blinded by venom? The Dilophoboa might be counting on its venom to weaken the D-Rex, or its coils to crush it. But the D-Rex is a creature of pure desperate survival. If that venom hits, the D-Rex's reaction won't be to curl up and die. It'll be to explode in even more pain-fueled rage. The Dilophoboa tries to coil. It spits its venom, but the D-Rex is a storm of flailing limbs and snapping jaws. Maybe the venom burns, maybe it even blinds one eye, but the D-Rex fights on pure instinct. Even if it's trapped, this thing can easily get out. It's gonna be a horrifying close quarters struggle. The snake squeezes, the D-Rex tears and bites. Eventually, the Dilophoboa, for all its poison and constricting power, finds itself ripped apart by a creature that simply refuses to stop fighting, no matter how much it hurts. The D-Rex, venom scorched and battered, untangles itself from the remains of the giant serpent. So, the snake is silenced, but now the D-Rex faces its own reflection. The pure Tyrannosaurus Rex. The final test. The D-Rex has fought poison, claws, armor, and things that fly. It's beaten monsters made by mad science. This is different. This is the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the very blueprint the D-Rex was so horribly twisted from. No tricks, no weird extra parts, just raw natural power honed by millions of years being the top hunter. Can the D-Rex, this broken, suffering, six-limbed mistake, actually beat the real deal? Every part of it is built to hunt, to kill, to survive. Its bite force is legendary. It's fast for its size. It's smart. It's everything a giant predator should be. Now look at the D-Rex. It's awkward. It's a genetic car crash. Its body is a source of constant agony. How can something so flawed, so physically wrong, stand a chance against nature's perfect killing machine? The T-Rex will see the D-Rex. It will probably see it as a rival, or maybe food, a weird misshapen meal, but a meal nonetheless. It will attack with all its evolved skill, its powerful bite, its bone-crushing jaws. The D-Rex can't match that kind of perfect practical violence. Can't move as well. It can't bite as efficiently. On paper, this should be a quick, brutal end for our tortured protagonist. But the D-Rex has one thing the T-Rex might not be ready for. It's sheer, unadulterated, terrifying pain and how wrong it is. The T-Rex is an animal of instinct. It understands other predators. It understands prey. But what does it make of this? A creature that looks like a T-Rex, but also like something crawled out of a nightmare. A creature that moves like it's constantly breaking and healing. A creature whose roars are not just challenges, but screams of unending pain and torment. The T-Rex attacks. The T-Rex fights back with all its desperate six limbs. It's a brutal, earth-shaking clash. But something is different here. The T-Rex, for all of its power, might hesitate, might be confused. This isn't a clean fight against a recognizable enemy. This is like fighting a living, breathing tragedy that is also trying to rip its throat out. The T-Rex's visible suffering, all of its pain, its weird limbs might be too much for the T-Rex's primal brain to compute. It's not fear in the usual sense. It's disturbance, a deep instinctual rejection of something that should not be. And ultimately, I think this would be a stalemate. I think they would battle it out, but ultimately the T-Rex would not die, but back away and realize winning is living to see another day. So the Distorus Rex, it lived. Twisted, painful victory, but a victory nonetheless. It faced down InGen's worst nightmares, and somehow, some way, it's still standing. If you thought watching this train wreck stumble its way to the top was something, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, because you've got way more prehistoric videos coming your way in the future. And hey, if you want to learn more about dinosaurs or be entertained about Jurassic Park's dinosaurs, click the video on screen now.